Watch him. The one in the corner who hasn't said a word all night. The one whose drink is full because he forgot he was holding it. Everyone else in this room is performing, posturing, measuring themselves against each other like dogs circling a yard. But him, he's not measuring anything. His eyes aren't competitive. They're geological. Old in a way that has nothing to do with age. You want to know what makes him dangerous? It's not his size, not his silence, not the scar tissue you can almost feel radiating off him like heat from a road in August.
It's the nothing. He has nothing left to protect. And a man with nothing to protect has nothing to calculate. No reputation to manage, no image to uphold. No future he's so afraid of losing that he'll bend himself into shapes just to keep it safe. Every other man in this room is carrying something fragile. A career, a name, a relationship, a version of themselves they've been selling to the world since they were old enough to lie. And because they're carrying it, they're careful. They negotiate. They smile when they should spit. They swallow words that would set them free because freedom costs more than they're willing to risk. He already paid that price. In full, in blood. There was a season, and he never talks about it, which is how you know it was real, where everything that made his life recognizable was taken from him. Not slowly. Not in pieces he could mourn one at a time. All of it, at once. Like a table flipped in the dark. And when the noise stopped and he opened his eyes, he was standing in a room with no furniture, no walls, no floor he trusted enough to put his full weight on. That kind of emptiness does something to a man that comfort will spend a lifetime trying to undo and never succeed. It removes the flinch. You don't understand what that means until you've been in a room with someone who has none left. The flinch is the thing that makes people hesitate. That split second where your brain calculates consequence before your mouth opens or your hand moves. Every polite man you've ever met is just a man with a fast flinch. Every diplomat, every peacekeeper, every man who has ever smiled through an insult because the alternative wasn't worth the fallout. The flinch is civilization's leash, and it works on most men because most men have something at stake. He doesn't. The last thing he had at stake was taken from him by someone who didn't even have the decency to look him in the eye while they did it. And the moment it was gone, the very second he realized there was nothing left to threaten, nothing left to take, nothing left to hold hostage. Something unlocked inside his chest that had been sealed since childhood. A door he didn't know existed. And behind that door was a version of him the world was never supposed to meet. Not a monster. Worse, a free man. Because monsters still want things. Revenge, recognition, domination. A free man wants nothing. And wanting nothing in a world built on leverage is the most disorienting thing you can encounter in human form. You can't bribe him. Tried. You can't scare him with what? Loss. He's already attended his own funeral. You can't shame him because shame requires an audience he respects. And he buried that list a long time ago. You can't negotiate because negotiation assumes both parties have something to lose. He doesn't. He walks into the room with empty hands, and that emptiness is a weapon nobody in the room knows how to disarm. This is the part people get wrong. They see a man who lost everything, and they think broken. They think damaged goods. They think he's one bad night away from the edge. And maybe that was true once. Maybe there were weeks where the emptiness felt like a coffin instead of a cathedral. But he stayed in it. He sat with the nothing. He ate meals alone in silence. He walked through cities like a ghost wearing skin. And somewhere in that long, ugly quiet, he met himself. real one. Not the version his parents needed. Not the version his friends expected. Not the version some woman tried to sculpt with her approval and then shattered when he didn't hold the shape she wanted. The raw one. The version underneath every performance he ever gave. And that version doesn't need a single thing in this room. Not the respect, not the attention, not the exit. He is complete in a way that makes every ambitious man in his radius feel suddenly, inexplicably hollow. Because ambition is just organized wanting, and wanting is just a list of things you don't have. He had that list once. It was long, detailed, painful. And one by one, life crossed every item off, not by giving it to him, but by proving he could survive without it. Now the list is blank. And a man with a blank list sits different. He doesn't lean forward in conversations. He doesn't laugh to fill space. He doesn't adjust himself to match the energy of whoever walks through the door. He is the energy, fixed, immovable. Not aggressive, just present in a way that makes other people feel like they're vibrating too fast. He slows rooms down, not with volume, with gravity. The kind you can't fake. Because it only comes from being emptied so completely that what filled you back up was denser than what was there before. People think danger looks like anger, like raised voices and clenched fists and threats delivered through teeth. That's not danger. That's theater. Real danger is calm. Real danger orders water and doesn't touch it. Real danger listens to your entire argument and responds with a silence that dismantles it more efficiently than any words could. Real danger is a man who will not perform for you, will not adjust for you, will not shrink or expand based on what you need him to be, because he has already been everything and lost all of it, and discovered that the man who remains when everything is gone is the only version that was ever real. You want to know the most terrifying thing about him? He's at peace, fully, not the fake peace of a man who meditates for 10 minutes and calls himself centered. The earned peace of a man who watched his life burn to the foundation, stood in the ashes until the heat left his skin, and chose to stay standing, not because he had somewhere to go, because standing was the last act of defiance the universe didn't expect from him. And he's been standing ever since, quiet, unimpressed, unmoved. That man is in the room right now. He's not looking for trouble. Trouble is looking for an excuse to avoid him. He's not planning his next move. He already moved. Every step he takes from here is aftermath. The battle happened in a place nobody saw, during a year nobody remembers, inside a pain nobody helped carry. And he won, not by fighting, by surviving long enough that everything trying to kill him ran out of ammunition. So watch him. The one who doesn't need to be here. The one who could leave and lose nothing. The one whose eyes carry the kind of quiet that makes noise feel embarrassed for existing. That is the most dangerous man in the room. And the reason you can't look away is because somewhere inside you, buried under the career and the reputation and the careful smile you've been rehearsing since high school, you know he's the freest person you've ever seen. And freedom, when you've never tasted it, looks exactly like danger.
For the King and St. George!
You look at me and think you see a human, but I am not just a human. I am a force that defies understanding, a storm that cannot be contained. Every breath I take, every step I make, is another stride toward greatness. I do not seek comfort, nor do I crave peace. My purpose is singular, my vision unyielding. I will train until my very presence inspires fear in those around me, until the whispers of my name strike terror into the hearts of even the bravest souls. You will see it, you will feel it, and you will know that I am not just a man. I am something far more. Each day begins with a promise to push myself further, to demand more, to suffer more. I embrace the pain. I welcome the struggle, because I know that it is in the crucible of adversity that true strength is forged. When others rest, I work. When others falter, I endure. I will not allow myself to be outdone. I will not allow myself to be second to anyone. I will work harder than anyone who has ever dared to stand before me. I will shatter their limits and exceed even my own. I will not stop. I cannot stop. Weakness is a choice, and I have chosen strength. Every drop of sweat, every aching muscle, every moment of exhaustion is proof that I am alive. Proof that I am becoming something greater. And when the pain becomes too much, when it feels like I can go no further, that is when I will push the hardest. That is when I will grow. The hunger that drives me, it is not something that can be extinguished. It is not something that can be satisfied. I will train until those around me no longer see a man, but a monster. Until they can no longer deny what I have become. They will call me insane. They will call me obsessed. But their words mean nothing to me. Their opinions are as fleeting as the wind, as meaningless as dust. I do not train for their approval. I do not strive for their recognition. I train because it is who I am, because it is what I must do. I will become the strongest, the most terrifying warrior this world has ever known, because it is necessary. Every obstacle that stands in my way, I will destroy. Every challenge that dares to face me, I will conquer. I do not fear failure because I know it is simply another step on the path to success. I do not fear pain because I know it is the price of greatness, and I will pay that price 1,000 times over if it means achieving my goal. You think you know what it means to be relentless. You think you understand what it takes to be unstoppable. But you do not. You cannot. Because you have not walked my path. You have not felt the weight of my determination, the intensity of my resolve. I will train until my body is broken and rebuild it stronger than before. I will push myself beyond my limits every single day. And when I find those limits, I will shatter them. I will not stop. I will not falter. I will not fail. You will watch. You will doubt. You will whisper among yourselves that I am mad, that I am driven by something dark and unholy. And perhaps you are right. Perhaps I am mad. But it is a madness with purpose. A madness that fuels me, that drives me to heights you could never imagine. You will see it soon enough. You will see what I have become, and you will tremble. You will realize that I'm not just a warrior, but a force of nature, an unstoppable tide that sweeps away all in its path. Respect will come. Fear will follow. Those who once mocked me, who doubted me, who laughed at my relentless pursuit of perfection, they will fall silent. They will bow their heads and avert their eyes, for they will know that they were wrong. They will see that I am not like them. I am not bound by their limitations, not held back by their fears. I am something greater, something more. I do not seek to be loved. I do not seek to be admired. I seek only to be the best, the strongest, the most unstoppable force this world has ever seen. And I will achieve it. Through blood, through sweat, through tears, I will achieve it. No one can stop me. No one can stand in my way. And if they try, they will be swept aside. For I am a warrior. And a warrior does not rest. A warrior does not waver. A warrior does not stop. until the battle is won. You may call me a monster, and I will not deny it. If being a monster is what it takes to achieve my goals, then so be it. I will embrace it. I will become it. Because I know that the path I walk is not meant for the weak. It is a path that demands everything, and I am willing to give it all. My body, my mind, my soul, all of it will be poured into this pursuit. And when I reach the end, when I stand atop the ashes of my enemies, I will know that it was worth it. This is who I am. This is what I was meant to be. A warrior, a conqueror, a force that cannot be stopped. I will train harder than anyone. I will work longer than anyone. I will suffer more than anyone. And I will emerge stronger than anyone. This is my destiny, and I will see it fulfilled. So I don't just endure, I dominate. I don't just survive, I conquer. While the world sleeps, I am awake. While others waste their time, I sharpen my blade. While they dream of comfort, I am preparing for war. There is no room for excuses, no space for weakness. I will not stop. I will not falter. I will not lose. You see, I don't rely on luck or fate. I don't believe in miracles. I believe in power, in discipline, in unrelenting will. I forged myself in the fires of despair and molded something unbreakable. You cannot understand what drives me because you've never had to fight like this. You've never faced the abyss and dared it to blink first. I don't care about what's fair. I don't care about the rules. Fairness is a lie created by the weak to make themselves feel better. Rules are chains made to hold back those destined to rise. I am beyond those things. I am above them. I built this empire from nothing. I molded it with my own hands, forged it in the fires of my pain, my sacrifices, and my relentless pursuit of perfection. When the world turned its back on me, when the whispers of doubt filled the air, I did not falter. I didn't retreat into the shadows, like others do when the light burns too brightly. No, I stood in the fire and became the flame. I didn't bow. I didn't break. I grew stronger, and the world watched as I built my kingdom piece by piece, brick by brick. They treated you like you'd always stay. Now they wish you would return. They assumed you'd always be there.